Welcome back, everybody, to Synalytics Crypto. My name is Mike. I'm happy to be back with you guys again. It's been almost a week since I've made a video, and I'm going to explain why it's been a week since I've made a video at the end of this. So if you want to stick around for long enough to engage with me in that, we'll do that later. But for right now, because it's been so long, there's a few things that I want to go and talk about today, and one thing in particular that I want to talk about in detail today. Also, 3 pieces of news that I think everybody should be aware of. I'm sure you're probably already aware of it, but we're going to go over it Synalytic style. So to start things off, guys, right now, I'm happy to see you all again. Thank you for being here and watching this video. Oh, by the way, before we get into this, if you could please like and subscribe, I appreciate it. The best thing you can do for me if you want to support this channel is to leave comments, because that triggers algorithms, and that's what gets the draw to these particular videos that us YouTubers make. I know YouTube is not very happy with cryptocurrency YouTubers in general. They shadow ban a lot of people with a lot of really good content, and I don't think I'm one of them because I'm not big enough yet. But I'll tell you what, I'm not sure YouTube likes me because I speak the truth. So anyone who speaks the truth these days, most people don't really like that. But we're going to talk about some truth today. For right now, let's go back, because it has been a week since I've made a video. And the market cap was right around there, 1.678 trillion, when I made my last video. And in between that time, there has been all kinds of FUD and all kinds of trash and all kinds of bogus news articles and all kinds of opinions and all kinds of just stuff flowing into this market. And it astounds me. By the way, today's Sunday, and it was supposed to be a really bloody Sunday, according to whatever Biden was supposed to say at the G7. It's just more excuses for people to put junk news out there to drive the price of cryptocurrency down so they can all come and swoop it all up like the whales they are. You guys, nothing has changed. I've only been out of the game for 6 or 7 days, and honestly, nothing has changed. We're still right around the same market cap. We are not in a bear market. We are in a very much stalled bull market. The bull run will continue this year. I will continue to stick by what I say. By the end of this year, we will be seeing probably new all-time highs in just about everything, at least for the stuff that really matters. It is time to be in the right projects right now, and that's the best thing you can do for yourself. But we haven't really had the bottom fall out. I mean, this correction was overdue, you guys. We've experienced massive growth since the beginning of this year. And if things were not to pull back, the crash that would have occurred would have been way worse. So I know it's hard for a lot of new people to wrap their mind around that. They buy it at the wrong time, and then they see it go down, and it can be very frustrating. The best thing I can say to anybody out there who is newer at this, us who have been in here for a long time, we know this. You got to hold through these situations. You got to hold your positions, and you don't want to sell at a loss, because in 6 months from now, 3 months from now, maybe even, this is crypto, next week, you could be regretting those decisions. So again, I say the same thing I always say: try to get in at the right times, and when you kind of make mistakes, learn from them, and you will be successful in the future. But for right now, we're kind of back up on a little bit of an upward trend, and there's a few pieces of news that have something to do with it. We're going to get into those in a second, but looking at Bitcoin, $39,000. Okay, hey, look, the bottom hasn't fallen out. The worst has not happened. Look at Ethereum, still $2,500. I mean, considering the room that we have run up this year, you guys, the market's not in trouble. We are not in turmoil. All of this news that comes out, it drives the markets, and there's going to be upside and there's going to be downside. There's always 2 sides of the story. And I've got 2 articles that I'm going to go over with you here in a few minutes to prove that. But I'm not going to run down too far. What I want to talk about first, before we get into any of the news and any of the things I'm going to say at the end of this video, you guys, is what has been going on with El Salvador. Personally, to me, I believe that this is the biggest news in the history of Bitcoin. This is way bigger than Elon Musk and Tesla buying in. This is way bigger than Michael Saylor going on his campaign, which I applaud him for, because the man's very informed and he puts his money where his mouth is. So I have definitely had a lot of respect for him. But this is the first country. We all know this by now. This is old news, and I understand that, guys. I'm not late to the game on this. I'm really not. What I want to do is I just want to talk more about it, because this is a big freaking deal. El Salvador, the first country in the world to accept Bitcoin as a national currency now at this point. I mean, There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to point you to a video that I need you guys to watch that will really go over in detail from Cryptos R Us. George, we're all George, right? He goes into detail. I think that the best thing I could do would be to steer you guys towards the best information and understanding exactly what this means, because El Salvador is only the first country to do it. They've made world history. Congratulations to them. Now, their fight is not over because the International Monetary Fund does not like what El Salvador is doing because it doesn't serve their best interests, because the International Monetary Fund doesn't quite always like anybody to have their freedom, especially sovereign nations that depend on the US dollar and people that buy US debt. We're in a debt-based society, which means we always have to constantly be selling our debt. There's going to come a time where the world's going to stop buying our debt because they won't need to anymore, because they're going to be adopting Bitcoin as national currencies. This is the first domino to fall in what I believe is the purpose that Bitcoin was created for in the first place. If you think back to where Bitcoin came from, it came out of the last financial crisis, or whatever you want to say, in 2008, and by 2010, we've got this new thing that nobody really knew about. But the fundamentals of Bitcoin are now on the world stage, you guys. They are on the world stage. This is the first domino to fall in what I believe is actual mass adoption from a governmental sovereign nation perspective. Okay, we are definitely experiencing mass adoption from retail, we've got everything from the TikTok generation to people on Facebook, people on YouTube. I mean, there's not too many people anymore who don't know what Bitcoin is. And a few years back, most people didn't even know what that is. So in a sense, yes, that is mass adoption. But things like this, El Salvador, an actual country, doing what they did and doing it rather quickly, I might add, this is a game changer. And this is not the first country to do this. I want you guys to know and understand that before you know it, and I'm talking about this year, other countries are going to follow suit. Guatemala is going to have to do, all these neighboring countries, think about all the commerce they can engage in without central banks if they just all adopt Bitcoin. And it's funny to me that a Central American, I almost said country, was the first one to do it. Now, is there something more to that? Because El Salvador means, the savior? I mean, I don't know. Are these guys trying to be the savior of the economic woes that are definitely heading our way in the global economy for the world at large? I don't know. I always like to look underneath the layers and see what else is going on under that iceberg. There's always more than meets the eye, like I've said before. This is like the Transformers. There's always more than meets the eye. But for the most part, they were the first to do it. There's going to be a bunch of other, in fact, Paraguay, Mexico, a few other countries have already talked about, hey, we need to get on board with this too. It's just a matter of time before the entire world kind of sort of has to. If things like this keep happening, and if the IMF doesn't come and completely, destroy El Salvador's plans of having financial freedom for their country, for their people, then this is definitely going to kick off a whole new phase of what the world sees as money. And interoperable, interchangeable money for that matter is going to actually revolutionize everything. So let's go take a look at a couple things about El Salvador here. I typed in what is the population of El Salvador. It says 6.454 million. That was in 2019. So right here it says as of 2021, the current population of El Salvador is 6,517,176 people. Their rate of growth is about 0.5% annually. I do think that is going to change. I think that El Salvador opened the doors to the world and said, hey, number one, now Bitcoin, which we can go look over here because we're going to talk about their money. El Salvador currencies, Bitcoin and the United States dollar. Very, very interesting, very beautiful to see from somebody who got into Bitcoin 5 years ago. And this is eventually what I saw happening, eventually to a grander scale, whether it's massive global adoption as far as a world reserve currency, or whether Bitcoin is what's going to be what allows the one world currency to be backed by. It's going to be a good thing. It's also going to be a bad thing. We'll talk about that in another video someday. But basically, just understanding where the world is going with all this is a big deal. And I forgot what I was saying to transition into this. Oh, yes. El Salvador is going to experience a boom, I believe, because now people can use their Bitcoin in as actual currency in that country, and it's going to bring people in who are, number one, going to want to innovate. They're going to want to be in a place where they are free to explore the options of growing their Bitcoin, they're talking about even mining Bitcoin very efficiently with their volcanoes. That would be amazing. That's what everybody, I think, kind of needs to see from Bitcoin right now, because of the whole energy inefficiency thing has kind of been a stall in this massive growth that we have been experiencing starting this year. But those things are probably a little ways off. But for right now, wouldn't somebody with a lot of Bitcoin want to go to a country where, gosh, people do strange things. Wouldn't they want to go to a country where they can avoid capital gains taxes on all these kinds of things? So there's many reasons why El Salvador is going to be growing as a country. I mean, under 7 million people, that's not a lot of people. People have dismissed this. Oh, it's just El Salvador. Okay, it's El Salvador. It's a country. It's a sovereign nation, and they have now been the first people to knock that domino over. And someday people are going to look back and go, wow, I can't believe, it all started here. And that's amazing. In fact, I want to go to El Salvador ever since I heard about what happened. And once it's, fully integrated and fully up and running, I'm going to take a solo trip down there. I want to go down there. I want to know what it's like to bring my Bitcoin on my little wallet on my phone. And can I survive on just Bitcoin down there? Am I going to be able to go to markets and pay for things in Bitcoin? Am I going to be able to pay for my hotel? I mean, obviously, yes, this is what we're talking about here. They've adopted Bitcoin. Congratulations, big step and everything. And it shouldn't be overlooked. This is not just a story that should be passing, and on to the next piece of FUD or on to the next, piece of news or whatever. This is central, you guys. This is a big deal. Note, as of 2021, the law of monetary integration allows the circulation of the US dollar in El Salvador with a fixed exchange rate of 8.75 colones. The colon is still legal tender, however, it is no longer in circulation and is rarely used. So this happened before they adopted Bitcoin. El Salvador they operate in US dollars, which of course is the reason why the IMF has such interest in what's going on here, because that's not good for them to become independent, and Bitcoin's allowing that freedom. So, take that from a global perspective, from a sovereign nation perspective, and what I've been saying on my videos since I started this channel, this is financial freedom right now. It has not gotten out of control to the point to where now everything we do is going to be tracked. Eventually, yes, it will go that way. I'm sorry to say that. If you don't like that, you can't just bury your head in the sand like an ostrich and pretend it's not there and it's going to go away, because the blockchain is going to eventually allow the world to govern everything, and that is exactly why it's being adopted, and that's exactly why the pushback, all of the pushback, it's all orchestrated, you guys. This is not conspiracy theory. This is the truth, and maybe that's why sometimes I have a hard time gaining traction on some of my videos, because people don't always want the truth. They want hopium, and the truth is Bitcoin is going to provide a lot of financial freedom before it gets to the point to where you might be a little worried about every little thing you do being tracked. But like I said, we'll talk about that in another video. I'm rambling at this point. I'm just excited, you guys. I'm excited to be back making videos. I'm excited to see what has transacted, because for a while, it looked like this was just an idea. It was presented at the Bitcoin Miami thing, and that was a lot of hype and a lot of hoopla, and I thought, okay, a great idea. But then they've done it, and now it's already here for us to see. So very, very interesting times we live in, you guys, and I can't wait to go to El Salvador and see how this thing rolls out. And you better believe I will be making videos from El Salvador, and we will see what's going on. So let's get into some news, you guys, real quick, before I send you to other places. Here is what I was talking about earlier, two sides of the coin, right? This is the news that drives the ups and the downs in the market. We got, India going back and forth all the time, and we've got Elon Musk going back and forth all the time, and we've got, China going back and forth all the time, and now they're telling people that they can't mine Bitcoin, and okay, so the news, you guys, is the point. So here's two pieces of news. JP Morgan warns of incoming Bitcoin bear market, citing unusual development in futures. Okay, so JP Morgan, big time bank, legacy system, does not want the competition that Bitcoin has to offer. Can't blame them, I guess, from their standpoint, because they're all greedy, rich, old white men who love their power and love their control and love their money. So they don't like what Bitcoin's going up to. So, they make statements like this, and it actually unfortunately affects people, and that's a shame. I'm not going to read this article. I don't want to give this article my time. I just want to point out that here's JP Morgan. This is all within the last hour, saying this, that, and other, because there's unusual developments in futures. So there could be a bear market coming. Dude, get out of here with that. But here we go. This is a much more positive article. I'm also not going to read it just for the sake of time for this video, but it just goes to show the dark side of the light and the light side of the dark. Analysts on Bitcoin and Ethereum should resume the bull run by ... by when? Tell us, oh wise one, when will the bull run get back? Let's go take a look. By all available metrics, data, TA, and moon math, we should be resuming the bull run by the end of July. That would mean Ethereum would see upward movement for several days with no corrections larger than 20% on average. I do agree with that. I've been saying for the last several weeks, even at the beginning of this downturn, that by the time we're in midsummer, everything's going to be kind of back on the upward swing. Now, can I guarantee that? No, absolutely not. The world we live in is so crazy with all of the news articles coming in, the FUD and the whales and the triggers and the bots and the short stops and all this stuff, right? It's a crazy world we live in. But overall, I mean, how at this point, when we're just in the beginning stages of mass adoption on a global countrywide and individual retail space, we're in a new ballpark here now, you guys. I do believe this statement is true, and this does definitely, if you read all positive news, you're only going to think positive things. If you read all negative news, you're going to think negative things. And if you base your trading strategies and your investment strategies on in a lopsided manner, you're going to kind of gravitate towards how you govern your investments, and it's not good to be top heavy, and it's definitely not good to be looking at the bottom, wondering when it's all going to fall out. You got to find balance. You got to do research. You got to read. You have to be able to decipher and see the forest through the trees, and not let the news govern how you dictate your investments. That's the whole point of even just showing you guys these. If you want to go read the articles, they're easy to find. You can just go get them on CoinMarketCap, or you can go to CoinGecko and find the news, and you can decide for yourself how you decide to see things and how you see the forest through the trees. Next piece of news, you guys. So this is interesting because today this kind of started a little bit of a Bitcoin rally, which I think is absolutely ridiculous because, like I've said before, I don't think one man should have the kind of power to sway the market, but he does, and at this point he just can't back off. I mean, who knows what he's dealing with behind the scenes, because the people on the board of his company they were getting mad at him. People in public are getting mad. Everybody's mad at Elon at this point, and he did it to himself. It's his own fault. This is and so now he comes out and he says Tesla will resume accepting Bitcoin when miners confirm 50% clean energy usage. Okay, so well, I suppose that may be a little while off, and at this point it doesn't matter. This piece of news does not matter, and I'm not the kind of person who just wants to see Bitcoin go up no matter what, because that's ridiculous. I'm actually sad, and I'm actually disappointed that this kind of news affected the Bitcoin upwards trend for the minute because of this. Because number one, nobody's buying Teslas with Bitcoin, and anybody who does, I'm sorry to say, that's stupid. That's a stupid move. That's a dumb move to go buy something that's going to depreciate the minute you drive it off the lot for one of the most rare, things in the world. Although it's digital, yes, you can't hold it, you can't smell it, you can't eat it, you can't really do anything with it physically. But we're talking about a very extremely rare asset that is going to appreciate in value over time. We have not reached the all-time high in Bitcoin. That will always be making new all-time highs. Always zoom out and look at where Bitcoin started, look at where Bitcoin is today, and you will see that I'm speaking the truth. So, interesting that Elon Musk still is just staying relevant in the daily news, and he can't stop. He can't help himself. He really cannot help himself. I don't know what else to say about this, but we don't really want to see these kinds of things happen just because one man has the power to sway the market. So, I am going to go. I don't have it pulled up here right now, but listen, go look at, I believe it was actually earlier today, Cryptos Are Us came out. George came out and did a really, really good in-depth video about this whole El Salvador thing, and he gets really deep into why the IMF is not having it and what kind of problems that may or may not represent for a sovereign nation, and what the precedent is going to be set because of these kinds of things for other countries moving forward, because we all know that El Salvador is the adoption of Bitcoin as a monetary, as an actual use of money in a country is not going to begin. It's not going to end with El Salvador. It just began with that. So go check out that video yourself, you guys. And thank you for joining me today. Now, at this point, I kind of want to come clean a little bit about a couple things, you guys. I owe some of you an apology. Nothing, no big deal. I didn't, commit the all-time sin or anything. I got frustrated, you guys. I got frustrated making YouTube videos because my channel grew very quickly. And then it's been really stalemated, and there's a lot for me to think about involved in there. I need to decide whether is this me. I know that I'm not tech heavy. I'm not big on intros and bling, and I'm definitely not selling people hopium, and I'm not promising 100 to 1000x altcoin gems and all these other things. And I think that's a lot of what people really want to hear. And a lot of times I feel like I make a video that's got a lot of really good information, and I just want more people to have it. This isn't about, I never went on this journey trying, number one, to make money off my channel. I never did it for popularity. I'm never going to try and compete with these people, BitBoy, who has, over 1 million subscribers, which is really a bummer to me because the shilling of the Femex, Bybit, to all that stuff just makes me sick, and how much money these guys get paid to shill absolute crap coins. The bottom line is they don't care about their subscribers, and I really do. And I had to remind myself that, what, this isn't about me. I didn't start this channel for me. I started this channel for you. I started this channel for people who are new at this and are going to make a lot of mistakes, and I wanted people to learn from my mistakes. And if I don't reach a very wide, broad spectrum audience, if I never get to that, 100,000 subscribers or whatever it may be, so be it. I had to come to terms with being okay with that, because the truth is, and I've said this before, I'm trying to reach anybody I can. And if anybody that I happen to reach learns anything at all from me and my mistakes and this channel and the balanced, perspective that I try to deliver to you guys, then I'm doing my job. And I ought to be very happy with that. And so for that, I apologize, because I did let it get to me. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it got there. I do want to see this channel grow, obviously. I really do, because I want more people to be reached. I've got a lot of friends and a lot of family who follow this now, and I can't just give up on that just because it's simply one day I had a thought that, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be out there, with a wide range of an audience. And that's a negative way to think, and I'm not a negative thinking person. So I'm going to move forward, you guys. I'm definitely going to be trying to upgrade this channel. I need to learn OBS. I'm having a really hard time learning OBS. I'm not a technically savvy person, and I just keep running into these walls. So if anyone has any suggestions with how I can do OBS, please let me know. Contact me or find me in the Telegram channel, and we can start having private conversations, because I do want to do live streams. I do want to feed off my subscribers. I really want to be interactive with you guys. So I definitely just had to take a mental break, and I've got to kind of reset myself and retool some things. And the truth is we're all in this for the long haul. If you're not in this for the long haul, that's where you make mistakes, and that's where you get hurt. And I want to say, just because I made 4.5, 5 years worth of mistakes, that I'm done making mistakes? Absolutely not. I still make mistakes. I've made mistakes even during this first leg of the bull run with some of my things. I often catch myself going, what are you thinking? Take your own advice, follow your own advice, and do a better job, because you have to practice what you preach. And the bottom line is I'm not stopping, I'm not giving up. And to every one of you who is a subscriber to this channel, I appreciate you guys so much. You all know I really do love you. I really do care about you. I really do want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to achieve financial freedom. I want everybody to have better lives. I want everybody to be out there, to be blessed, to be a blessing. I want everyone to find peace and happiness and joy. And I want everyone to go out there and be a little kinder to each other. And I also want to remind people that money isn't everything, because this is more than just Bitcoin news. I want to deliver a message of hope beyond financial means. If you're getting tied up in the fact that your investments aren't doing so good, and you're worried about this, and it's affecting your life, it's affecting your sleep, it's affecting your eating patterns, you guys, you got to put that stuff aside. Because, and I tell you this because I've been there. When I rode all the way up to the top and all the way back down to the bottom, it boggled my mind, and it affected my life. There's nothing in this world that is worth your peace. You cannot put a price tag on peace. So go out there, love somebody, be kind to somebody, smile at a stranger, do what you can to be a blessing to others, and you'll feel good about everything you do, and life will not be such a struggle, and it won't be so tied to your monetary position in life. Because I'm telling you, We're all headed in the right direction. There's gonna be bumps in the roads, you guys. Whether it's, and I'm saying this, I'm preaching to myself here, there's bumps in the road with everything you do. Nothing is perfect, nothing is smooth sailing, and there are mistakes to be made and learned from in every avenue of life. So, hey, I love you. Thanks for allowing me to come back and make videos. And please comment below. Let me know what you think. Give me that thumbs up, you guys. And hey, I'd like to see the channel grow. So let's do it. Send it to somebody new and tell them there's this crazy guy on the internet that sometimes, loses track of what he does and doesn't edit his videos. But at the end, it's all smiles. Peace.